Welcome to Leaving a Legacy, where we dive deep into God's Word to find wisdom for today's world. Josh Thompson is the pastor of Legacy City Church in Los Angeles, California. Connect with us at legacyradio.com. Together, let's journey verse by verse, chapter by chapter, unlocking the deep truths of God's Word. This is more than just a study, it's a conversation with God's heart.
I'm leaving a legacy, not fading fast. Through the storm and fire, built to last. In His hands I rise, I'm not alone. His strength in me's a cornerstone.
Have you ever wondered why deep down we all long for community? In Genesis 1, Pastor Josh unpacks how God wove connection into the fabric of creation. Today's message, A Time to Create and a Time to Rest, invites us to embrace God's beautiful design for relationships.
His strength in me's a cornerstone.
Hebrews 10:24, let us consider how to stir. I love this word. How to stir, like get that mixing bowl out. How to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as in the habit of some people, but encouraging one another. And all the more as you see the day drawing near, the return of the Lord. Get together. Acts 2:42, and they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to the breaking of bread, to prayers, and awe came over every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles, and all who believed were together. They had all things in common because they needed it. They were all from out of town. They had left their homes and started living in Jerusalem, over 3,000 of them. They didn't even have their belongings. So those who lived in town said, hey, let's just share what we have with other people. Maybe we don't have that context here exactly, but hey, we can figure out how to love and serve one another with what we have. They were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together, breaking bread in their homes. They received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God, having favor with all the people, and the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. They were in community. That was established back in the Garden of Eden. And the New Testament church started living that out in real time. God created community. We are to be in it. Look at verse 29. God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields fruit, yields seed, which is on the face of the earth. Every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be for food. There it is. It's been created. We were designed to eat. To every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to every thing that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. Then God saw everything that had been made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Interesting, God gives every herb and fruit tree that yields forth seed for humans to eat. And He gives every green herb to the animals to eat. Prior to the fall, it does seem here that humans and animals were all vegetarians. That's what it looks like. That's what God's saying here. All they ate was the plants and the fruit and the vegetables that came forth from the land. After the fall, animals start to die. After the fall of Adam and Eve, they sinned against God. They ran from God in their sin, listening to the devil, to the serpent, and they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. They were banned from it, and then sin came over the whole planet, and things started to die because it was not in perfect communion with God anymore. Animals die, and it seems, watch this, that God redeems even animals through allowing them to be for food. They're not just completely wasted. Things just start to die for no use, put it in the ground, but there is an opportunity for food. We know Jesus ate meat. We know the priests would eat meat after an animal sacrifice. Did you know that? In the Old Testament. It was essentially a barbecue and the nicest meat families could produce. They bring the nicest first fruits, the first animal that the best animal of their flock to be sacrificed. And when they would sacrifice, they wouldn't just throw it away. There would be a humane way of killing the animal, and then they would place it on the altar. It would be burnt up, and then the priests and the people there nearby would eat of that meal. It was a barbecue. They were not just killing animals and throwing it away. God also says after all creation, everything has been made. Notice, he does not just say it was good, but verse 31, did you see that? Very good. Notice, in every verse leading up to this one, he says, and God saw it and it was good. But notice, after he had finished all of it, when he saw it, he says, it is very good. The specifics in the text are very, very, very important. They really are. He saw that it was very good, and he, being the creator, made something that was very good. 6 days he completed. Amazing. The Lord began with a blank canvas. 6 days later, he has the universe and cosmos. With everything beautiful and good, the earth now full of life and green, lush and plentiful. God said it was very good. What God does is very, very good. He's the creator, and we bear his image as people. We are creators, aren't we? He is the creator. We bear his image, thus we are creators. Not in the same sense as he is. We cannot create bara out of nothing. But we do have something in us to want to create. We love to create and explore what he has created. Point number 2, if you're taking notes, create as God creates. Notice, how does God create? For his glory. The heavens declare his glory. Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are God's masterpiece, or his workmanship. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can go do the good things he planned for us long ago. We have been created to create or do things for God's glory, which he actually planned out in eternity's past. I know I don't seem like an artist, but I do love to create. I play some piano and guitar and sing a little, and I do have an accordion and a violin and a ukulele, and I love all kinds of music, anything that's excellent. What's your favorite genre? I don't know, whatever is excellent. Whatever's done well. Doesn't matter to me, really. Any genre on the earth. International genre, anything outside, whatever. If it's done well, you can feel it, you can hear it, you can taste it. It's like there's something magical about that piece. We are called and made to create things that are very good. Some of you create art. Comes in many different forms. Some of you build, comes in many different forms. Some of you design, comes in many different forms. Some of you create knowledge, comes in many different forms. Some of you entertain, comes in many different forms. Some create happiness and life for others, comes in many different forms. But we're all creating or producing something interesting, and we have a deep desire to do so. I would encourage you to create as your creator creates. Create things very good. Very good. Please. Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Work is unto God, and create is unto him. And as you do so, as you take your craft, use it to glorify and honor God with excellence. D.L. Moody said this, if God is your partner, make your plans big. If God is your partner, make your plans big. I would encourage you to explore creation. We talked about this last week. Did you do your homework? Explore creation. Find some time to go sit in your backyard. Just go and sit and enjoy creation. Stop and look at an ant and stare at it for like 2 or 3 minutes. Just look at the creation around you. It will blow your mind over and over. Last week I got to start a scuba diving certification with one of my buddies. And man, it was the coolest thing. I remember as a kid, like wanting to hold my breath underwater. I still hold the world record in Riverside, California on Harmony Lane at that house and that pool for holding my breath the longest, going back and forth in the pool for it was like 8 times or something like that. But I just loved being under the water and being down there. And we got in the saltwater pool. We put all the tanks on and everything. We take our half day of training class, and then we get in the water. We stayed under there for about 25, 30 minutes. But my tank was still another 1,700 PSI, which means I probably could have stayed under there for another 30 minutes, like easily. I'd barely used up like 1,200 PSI of oxygen. Thinking to myself, going down there, and now I can't wait to get in the ocean and dive down. We're gonna dive down like 65 feet. You're like, that's crazy, dude. No, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get down under there, into the deep. Can't wait to explore the artistry, the paintings, the sculptures, the music, the coral, the fish, the sounds of the ocean, yes, even the sharks. The love of creation and the love to create. We see it in the beauty of the earth, and it moves things in us to want to grow and do greater things. It causes an awe to come over us. It's because of the Creator. It declares His glory. Listen to Psalm 19. David says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaim His handiwork." God had his little tool belt on, and he pulled out his tools and started building the universe. His handiwork. Pulled out that paintbrush and threw down a couple sunsets for a couple million years. Canvases that never grow old. A new painting every single night. Every single morning. Just amazing.
Pastor Josh will be right back with part 2 of this sermon. You're listening to Leaving a Legacy.
Here's a clip with Pastor Josh on the Stokehouse Podcast. Catch full episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Welcome to the Stokehouse. It's time to get fired up.
Protectors are not passive. They see something going down. They stand up for what is right. They stand up for what is true. They protect the truth. They protect what is right in society, in their home, in their neighborhood. We must be protectors. We see it biblically. We are the provider for our family as well, and we must take the burden financially on our backs. We are called to work by the sweat of our brow. It's part of the curse that was given to us in the garden. Adam was working in the garden actually before the curse showed up. He was taking care of the garden, and he loved it. The only problem is when sin showed up, he started hating it. But we are to carry that burden of working, making money, providing for our family, and being responsible in life. We are the provider. We take on the responsibility. We don't pass off responsibility.
Catch full episodes of the Stokehouse Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Today, we're thrilled to offer you a book, Honey and Gold, a powerful daily devotional by Pastor Josh Thompson that takes you chapter by chapter through the Gospel of John. And here's the best part. You can receive your own copy for a donation of any amount. Visit legacyradio.com to give. Let God's truth refresh your heart and guide your journey.
Welcome back. Pastor Josh is continuing in God's Word. Let's jump right in and be encouraged as we grow together here on Leaving a Legacy.
And on the 7th day, God ended His work, which He had done. He rested on the 7th day from all His work, which He had done. Then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it because He rested from all His work, which God created and had made. Point number 3 in closing, rest as your Father in heaven has rested. God didn't rest because He was tired. Did you know that? He didn't break a sweat. Like, I need some water. No. He rested to show a model for man. We are created in His image, and He knows what is best for us. This is something we must remember. When the Lord is commanding or instructing us to do something, it is never to hurt us, only to help us and save us from destroying ourselves. You were created and designed to create and also to rest. And if you don't follow the design, you're going to go crazy. You're going to get depressed. You're going to get bummed out. You need to rest. Psalm 19:7, one of my favorite passages. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, it enlightens the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, it endures forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous are altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey on the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is your servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Keeping of the commands of God, there is great reward in our lives. The commands of God are not a burden, they are a blessing. The commands of God are a blessing, including this display of the Sabbath. Built into the design of creation, we still have a 7-day week, notice. This goes all the way back to God. 7 days. So God rested on the 7th day, showing man needs rest. But notice the Sabbath day of rest was not instituted until the time of Moses. God showed a pattern in creation and established a day where man was to stop in his week and worship, celebrate the Creator, a day to celebrate the redemption given. God writes in Exodus 20 through Moses, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. 6 days you shall work. Did you hear that? 6 days you shall work. But the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter or your male worker or your female worker or your livestock, your business, or the sojourner who made your gates. For in the 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th. Therefore the Lord blessed the 7th day and made it holy. It's the design. Now, there's been much debate on what day man is supposed to rest on and what he is supposed to rest from. And I think Jesus sets the record straight on this issue, showing that the day is not made to simply please God. Don't miss it. Don't miss this, please. You're going to burden yourself trying to keep the Sabbath this week and not rest at all. The day is not made to simply please God, but the day has been made as a day of rest for man because God knows we need it. Treating the commands of God as a religion, trying to earn favor with God, is not the point of the commands. The point is to treat them as a life-giving instruction, and this is very, very important. We don't obey God because we have to. We obey Him because we want to. His commands bring life. Here's instruction for life. Would you like to have real life? Well, maybe listen to the instruction manual. You're like, no, I'm going to throw the manual away and try to figure out how this microwave works, and it blows up. And your wife's like, you idiot, why didn't you read the instructions? Right? Why don't we read the instructions? We have twisted it to become religion, to act as if they are commands that should burden us. The Pharisees and the religious leaders got it all wrong. Do you remember what happened in Mark 2? It says that Jesus and his boys are walking along the way and they're hungry, so some of his disciples start picking the wheat of the field and they start eating it. And the Pharisees are like, hey, the religious leaders like, hey, it's a Sabbath. You can't work on the Sabbath like that, picking the wheat. And Jesus is like, what? He's like, don't you remember King David? Don't you remember when King David walked into the tabernacle, into the holy place where only the priests go? Why? Jesus says because he was hungry. And he took of the showbread on the table in the tabernacle. No one's supposed to go in there except for the priests. David walks in there. King David's like, man, we're hungry. You guys hungry? Me too. I know there's some bread in there in the tabernacle. He walks in there, the table, showbread. He takes the bread, and it says, Jesus says he gave it to the others. Jesus said God didn't strike him dead for doing that. Why do you guys think that you're right in saying you can't pick some food to eat on the Sabbath? Are you nuts? You're missing the whole point. Then he says these words, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is the Lord even of the Sabbath. They were ticked. The Pharisees had it all wrong about the Sabbath, and many still have it wrong today. Do you know that people who try to keep the Sabbath, they won't drive cars on the Sabbath because they think it's breaking the Sabbath? Because it says not to kindle a fire in the Old Testament, and when you turn that key in a car, the fuel injectors squirt gas into the center of your engine, and then the spark plug throws a spark in there, and boom, it kindles a fire and it blows the pistons out, and that's how your engine runs over and over. They say it's kindling a fire, so we can't drive a car, so we got to walk everywhere. So you're going to walk everywhere, burden yourself by walking. Though you don't walk everywhere all week long, you're going to get a full cardiovascular workout on the Sabbath. I don't get it. That's more work. They won't even push a button on an elevator, but after getting a Sabbath elevator, which will stop at every single floor on the way up. It's a Sabbath elevator. It just stops at every single floor. So we're going to delay and waste time just to supposedly keep the Sabbath because it's work to do this. You're missing the point. The Sabbath was created for man to rest, not as a rule and regulation to be burdened by, to take away life. God calls us to rest. Let me ask you, when's the last time you rested, truly rested, just took a day to relax and celebrate the Creator and His creation, a day to rest and realize you're saved and redeemed, still going to heaven when you die, a day to enjoy family and friends, a day to be thankful to God for all that we have, a day to laugh and relax and enjoy. Christians should have the most fun in life. What's wrong with these stick-in-the-mud Christians who don't do anything? They never have fun. They're so religious and locked down and, I can't go there because of that, can't do that, can't do this, don't do that. You're missing it. God gave you all of the earth and all of life. You should be enjoying it. If you're burdened by the Sabbath, you're missing it. If you're burdened by the commands of God, you're missing it. Many think if I relax and do fun stuff with the family, I'm not going to get anything done. Wrong. I guarantee you can accomplish more in 6 days with 1 day's of rest than 7 days of working with no rest. And you've heard it before, if you take an axe and you use it to work cutting wood for 30 days and you don't sharpen it even 1 day, you think you're going to cut more wood because you work nonstop. If you would just stop on the 7th day and sharpen that axe and rest, let your back loosen up a little bit and then get back to it the next day, you'll actually chop more wood than working 30 days straight. We're missing it. We're missing the design. Let us learn the art of resting. Some of you have been working for a long time, and God is calling you to rest every week. Just 1 day to refresh yourself. If Sunday is that day, good. Figure out what day it is for you. For me, it's Saturday. And for what some of you think is work, it's not for me. I love to surf and lay on the beach and just relax. It's magic for me. It revives my soul. It de-stresses me. It sharpens my axe. Some of you come out on the water with me and you're like, I'm dead. I'm never doing that again. That was work. Surfing. But I want to take it one step further as we close and enter into communion. Some of you need not only rest physically, but spiritually and emotionally. Matthew 11:28, Jesus said, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Psalm 55:22, cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Proverbs 16:3, commit your works to the Lord and your plans will be achieved. God made you. He made you in the image of Himself. There's something missing in the human, and that is a relationship with God. So everybody's all messed up on the earth. They need a relationship with the Creator who made them. And as we move away from Him, we grow deeper and darker into depression and anxiety and stress. As we move closer to Him in relationship, what we were designed to do, we find rest. It's what we were made to do. Many of you need to be called to rest. You're tired, you're weary, you're hurting from all the sin in your life and the lack of God in your life, lack of a relationship with Jesus Christ. You need forgiveness. He's calling you to rest today. The great Augustine said this, our last sentence, our hearts are restless till they find rest in Thee.
That's all the time we have for today on Leaving a Legacy. We learned how vital it is to follow God's rhythm of work and rest. True rest is not just physical. It's a restoration of the soul in the presence of our Creator. May we trust God's design, find our rest in Him, and live lives filled with His peace and purpose. If today's message spoke to you, don't stop here. Visit us at legacyradio.com. We would love to connect with you. And if you would like to receive a copy of our daily devotional, Honey and Gold, the Gospel of John, you can do so for a donation of any amount at our website. Again, that's legacyradio.com. Until next time, keep your eyes on Jesus and keep leaving a legacy for His glory.
I'm